Hello fellow subscribers, randos from the internet, and people from Binghamton. I present to you a one-to-one recreation of where I grew up in upstate New York in city Skylines. Let me take you on a tour of some famous Binghamton landmarks, such as State Street, Government Plaza, and the Veteran Memorial Arena. Here's where Tim Tebow plays with the Rumble Ponies in NYSEG Stadium. Moving on from Binghamton to Johnson City, we've got the infamous abandoned factories, the new Binghamton University Pharmacy School, as well as Wilson Hospital. Coming off the circle, we have the Oakdale Mall. Aw geez, too soon? Moving on to Vestal. Here we have the Vestal Parkway, the main thoroughways which has lots of shopping centers and plazas. For example, here is the Town Square Mall. Heading east on the parkway, we eventually get to what should be Binghamton University. Unfortunately, I hit the road limit in the game and was unable to recreate the university. So, I did the next best thing and turned it into Crematorium City. To be honest, same difference if you ask me. From a bird's eye perspective, here's Vestal, Binghamton, Conklin, Dickinson, Shenango, Johnson City, and Endicott. Sadly, the map cut off Endicott. Maybe that's why they're riding on the highway over here. Sorry, Tigers. Now, how could I forget about Kamikaze Curve? If you're from Binghamton, you know how long this project has been going on for and how expensive it is, in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, the idea for this project was to improve congestion and traffic flow, as well as increase safety. So, reason being is that in Binghamton in the winter, it gets a lot of snow and ice, and this curve especially led to a lot of accidents. So what they did was they blasted a part of Prospect Mountain to ease the curve, as well as rerouting some of these ramps. However, whenever I visit, I don't really notice too much improvement in terms of both congestion and safety. This brings me to why I made this project in the first place. While the simulation isn't 100% accurate, it can provide a good basis as to how we can understand cities and how we can go about improving them. So, as a user experience designer, I have to understand how people interact with technology from their perspective. While urban design is completely different, I believe there's a little bit of crossover through empathy. For example, a lot of people in Vestal complain about the amount of traffic on the parkway, right here. While I don't have a university, the amount of car traffic that these crematoriums produce is actually pretty comparable to the real life experiences from what I remember. So as you can see, a lot of the traffic that's coming into this intersection on the parkway is coming from Johnson City and Binghamton. A lot of students end up commuting across this bridge to then the parkway, to then either the main entrance or side entrance of the university. However, because the Vestal Parkway is already a heavily trafficked economic corridor, it doesn't need this extra traffic. So what we can do here is separate the destinations. People who want to head from Johnson City and Binghamton to Vestal can end up going through here, whereas those who want to go directly to the university can cut through here. And then those who want to head from the university back up to Susquehanna can end up heading up like so. If you live in Vestal and want to head over to Endwell, you have two options that both involve going through the busy Vestal Parkway. If you head east, then you have to cut through Johnson City and then go through by Home Depot and finally all the way across here to Endwell. The second way is heading west on the parkway to then hit the high school, Vestal High School, then cut across the bridge by the UE High School, and then from Endicott head over to Endwell, and then vice versa as well. How about a bridge to connect both of these towns? This bridge could then act as a faster thoroughway between both of the towns while potentially easing some of the congestion here on the parkway. Similar idea here. If you want to head from Johnson City, Binghamton to Vestal, you're going to have to cut through Riverside Drive, then go through the bridge, and then head over here. How about we make a direct bridge here from Lord's Hospital across to Vestal? Maybe this is a good idea, maybe this is a bad idea. What do you think? I could be biased towards bridges, having lived in Pittsburgh. This simulation could also be used in planning for more efficient bus routes and public transportation in general in Binghamton. As many of you Binghamton people know, this town has gone through a lot of tough times and is in recovery. Like many areas in upstate New York and in the greater Rust Belt of America, there's been a huge loss of manufacturing jobs. Engineering jobs were hit hard as well due to the loss of government contracts with BAE Systems, Lockheed Martin, and IBM in Endicott. There's a lot of abandoned buildings and there's not much economic opportunity here. However, thankfully there recently have been efforts to promote growth. For example, there's the new pharmacy school that's about to open with Binghamton University. There's the Kaufman Southern Tier Incubator for startups. Then apparently, I learned this pretty recently that by Conklin there's a exporting goods distribution center that was built. Things like this are really awesome and are needed. Hopefully the simulation can be used for any other further development or rezoning of areas. In addition to traffic and development, a third aspect that can be useful to Binghamton is flood simulations. The area was hit really hard in 2006 and 2011 when the Susquehanna River flooded. Now, if we rise the river level here to about here, we can see how eerily similar it is to those floods that occurred. All these areas that you see here were submerged in real life. So, downtown Binghamton, Lord's Hospital, Home Depot, these houses at Endicott by the golf courses, and a whole lot more were all submerged. So while looking into flood prevention here in Binghamton, I found that the levees that do exist are super old, made back in the 50s or so. Now I think it's pretty ridiculous that even after two historic floods of this entire area, little has been done in terms of improving or adding new levees or other flood prevention mechanisms. I urge you Binghamton people to contact your local politicians to make this a high priority to help prevent another disastrous flood and hopefully save some lives. If anyone has any questions or comments, concerns, let me know. Thanks for watching.